Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, 7-year sentence. A man who killed a stranger at a transit station will spend years in prison. Neighborhood nuisance. People want something done about this large open pit. And Chuba's camp. An NFL star returns to Edmonton to pass on football and life lessons to younger players.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Neighbors say they feel much safer now that a drug house in southeast Edmonton has been shut down. As CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti reports, they say complaining to officials paid off.
Pauline Wilson is finally breathing a sigh of relief when she leaves her home in Millwoods. 2 doors down, Alberta sheriffs have shut down a longtime drug house.
I feel like I can actually feel safe going for a walk, whereas before I wasn't too certain because I use a walker.
In the last decade, police have visited this problem property 256 times. Police say the house has become a hub for illegal drug trafficking and abuse. Wilson says it brought unwanted visitors to the area.
I would see them going by and making noises and yelling and screaming over there, and it was just really, really frightening for me.
Neighbors on this street started a petition to have the house looked into. Police say complaints in the area all said the same thing.
We're hearing intimidation, fear, anxiety, steps that people have taken to secure their own property.
One neighbor across the street says his wife finally feels comfortable leaving her car parked out front.
I'm safe now. It's better than before. We are not scared like car we was parking back, but now we put it there.
Edmonton Police and the Sheriff's Safer Communities and Neighborhoods Unit say they've tried to work with the owner over the years to drop the drug activity. Councillor Karen Tang says it's important neighbors report any suspicious activity.
In fact, I still remember this phone call I had with a resident that was actually really disturbing.
There were 2 fatal drug overdoses at the house in 2022. Now shut down, the property will be closed for 90 days, with community safety order conditions in effect until October 8th.
We're happy to give them the freedom to have a healthy and safe summer without the criminal activities happening at the house.
It's going to make the neighborhood a lot more peaceful, a lot more safe, I think.
The owner of the house plans to sell the property, making room for a fresh start. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
The body of a missing boater on Lesser Slave Lake has been found with an outpouring of help.
The family of each of the boaters were there in the area helping. There was the local helicopter pilot. There was some fishermen with sonar that were going through the area as well.
RCMP say a group of boaters became stranded Friday night on a sandbar. The 39-year-old was swept away. His body was recovered on Saturday. Alberta now has more cases of measles than all of the United States. Alberta Health recorded 30 new cases since Friday, bringing the province-wide total to 1,314 cases. Across the United States, a total of 1,288 cases have been recorded. The CDC updates the number of cases every Wednesday, so this number represents how many cases there were 5 days ago. Provincial data shows 87% of people in Alberta who have been infected with measles are not vaccinated. Alberta Health Services says the measles vaccine is highly effective at preventing infection and health complications. It is free. A dose needs to be given within 72 hours of an exposure to prevent measles. The owners of a vacant construction site in the Waquentawin neighborhood say they're still working towards building a 22-story residential tower. This pit is meant to be the home of Jameson Tower. Ground broke in 2021, but construction stalled, leaving a gaping hole in the neighborhood. Some people say it's even become a landmark of sorts. City Councillor Michael Jan says derelict properties like the Waquentawin pit and others around the city are no laughing matter.
If you're going to demolish a building, if you're going to dig a pit, finish the job, get the job done. Ultimately, we want to see more houses, more buildings, and more construction. None of us want to see half-empty pits.
Jan says the city is working to expand its problem property rules to commercial zones, which would financially penalize builders that leave sites unfinished. The developer of Jameson Tower says it fully intends to complete the structure. A man who killed a father at an Edmonton LRT station 2 years ago has been sentenced to 7 years in prison. The court heard the deadly attack was not the first time the man committed a crime against a stranger at a transit station. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
It was July 2023 at the Belvedere Transit Station. A man who'd fled violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo for the safety of Canada was approached by a stranger and stabbed in the chest. 52-year-old Rukinisha Nkundabatware, a father of 7, died of his injuries. Today, the man responsible was in court. Jamal Wheeler was originally charged with second-degree murder, but pleaded guilty to the lesser manslaughter charge last November. The Crown wanted a sentence of 7 to 9 years, while the defense said 5 or 6 years would be more appropriate. The court heard from Nkundabatware's son David, who says his life is not the same, that he lives in constant fear, especially near public transit, and has trouble sleeping. Whenever I try to rest, I see the face of the man who killed my father, he said. Wheeler's criminal record was entered as an exhibit showing a history of attacks on transit users, including a robbery with an axe, punching someone who then fell onto the tracks, and another incident where 3 people were bear sprayed. Before sentencing, Wheeler apologized for his actions, saying he regrets what happened. After a short break, the justice addressed Wheeler, saying, "This is not the first time the court has dealt with you." He then spoke about the seriousness of his crime and impact on the community and transit users. They have the right not to have their head on a swivel, not worried about what is going to happen, the justice said before sentencing Wheeler to 7 years. Nkundabatware's family was too upset for an interview, but tells CTV News they'd hoped for a longer sentence and worry Wheeler will continue to be a risk to the public. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta NDP leader Naheed Nenshi was sworn in as an MLA today.
Thank you. Now that Your Honor signed the book, MLA Nenshi, congratulations. Mr. Speaker.
Nenshi won a by-election in June in the Edmonton Strathcona riding. The former mayor of Calgary will lead the opposition when the legislature resumes this fall. NDP MLA Gurchej Singh Brar was also sworn in as the MLA for Edmonton Ellerslie. A Western Alberta municipal district is looking for provincial help after declaring an agricultural disaster. The MD of Greenview includes Grand Cache, Fox Creek, and Valley View. The council says unexpected drought conditions, the lack of hay, and the infestation of grasshoppers is catastrophic for livestock. It says it's also taking a toll on people's mental health.
Now we're into 25 and already we're only in July and it's early. Crops are failing. It's not looking good. So that all weighs on everybody's, when that's your livelihood, it's huge.
Greenview says it wants financial help from the province to support the farmers and recognize the issue at large. We have reached out to the province and are waiting for a response. AHS has confirmed a recent water quality advisory for the Sturgeon River was put in place because of a sewage leak. The advisory about high levels of fecal bacteria was first issued in April. AHS says a pipeline carrying wastewater began leaking sewage. While the effects of the runoff has dissipated, the area around Rivercrest still has high levels of fecal bacteria. AHS says you should not swim or wade near Benoit Bridge. The advisory has been lifted for the area of the river northeast of the Ray Gibbon Drive Bridge downstream. People living in a northwest Edmonton neighborhood are raising money for a new playground that was destroyed by a suspicious fire. The playground near St. Pius Catholic Elementary School in the Sherbrooke area went up in flames Saturday. Police say smoke was first reported near 122nd Avenue and 128th Street around 8 in the morning. No one was hurt and the school was not affected. The Sherbrooke Community League and the St. Pius X Parents Association have set up a fundraiser aiming to collect $50,000 to rebuild the park. So far, they've raised more than $8,000. Well, Josh, a pretty nice day to be out there on the playground.
Yeah, low 20s today, and there's more of that on the way, it looks like, through the rest of this week. If you're hoping for some 28 to 32 degree heat, there is none of that coming in the next week, week and a half, which takes us almost all the way to the end of July. We're at 19 downtown right now. We hit 21 an hour ago for the daytime high. You get 17s and 19s outside the city. Just a bit of a breeze, about 10 to 15 kilometers per hour coming in out of the north right now. 24, the average daytime high. So we'll be slightly cooler than average, not only today and tomorrow, but for much of this week. 14 degrees this morning puts us right around average as far as the low is concerned. Here's what it looks like outside right now with the CTV drone. And after a cloudy start to the day, the clouds started to break a little bit through this afternoon. You can see some splashes of sunlight on the river valley there. Certainly not bright blue skies just yet, but we will continue to see some clearing through the rest of this evening and overnight tonight. All the heavy rain has been in southern Alberta. In fact, around Calgary, you still have a rainfall warning. The heaviest of the rain right now is falling south of Calgary in these yellow zones, but about 50 to 80 millimeters by the time that's all said and done with in Calgary tonight and south of Calgary tomorrow morning. We also have some showers. There was even a little isolated thunderstorm there just off to the north of Hinton. Those showers have now pushed well off to the southwest of Edmonton, and this is all moving south, as you'll notice. It's not going to back up and suddenly come into the Edmonton region. So some clearing through this evening and overnight tonight. 9 degrees tomorrow morning. Cool start to the day. Back to 22 with some sunshine tomorrow afternoon. A little windier for Wednesday and maybe a little bit of wildfire smoke. We'll talk more about that in a couple minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, coaching changes. The Oilers swap out their staff with a former defenseman returning to team management.
It's been a part of the game for so long, whether it's been a player or part of management or just a spectator.
To you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
The Edmonton Oilers have hired 3 new coaches for next season. Peter Aubry replaces Dustin Schwartz as the Oilers' goaltending coach. Paul McFarland will coach the team's forwards and power play unit. Connor Allen will help the players develop their skills, but won't be behind the bench during games. He'll be up in the stands. Current assistant coach Mark Stewart will take over for Paul Coffey as the defense and penalty kill coach. Coffey will remain with the Oilers as a special advisor to management. Head coach Chris Knobloch says he learned a lot from Coffey.
Well, here's a guy that's been a part of the game for so long, whether it's been a player or part of management or just a spectator, and having a good feel for the game on what needs to be addressed, and a lot of it on what needs to be addressed from a player's perspective on what they need to hear and what we need to do to allow them to be successful.
Former Oilers assistant coach Glenn Gulletson is now the head coach of the Dallas Stars, and the Oilers' former skills coach David Pelche is joining him as an assistant. Edmonton's Chuba Hubbard is giving back to Edmonton by teaching the next generation of football players. He held his annual youth football camp this weekend. As CTV's Connor Hogg found out, the experience was just as special for his mom.
Everybody touch the bag, everybody touch the bag.
Can I bang my head on there?
No, you can't. That's going to hurt you.
Young football prospects descended on the Jasper Place Bowl Sunday morning for training camp. The camp is in its 3rd year, and it's run by Carolina Panthers running back and Edmonton native Chuba Hubbard. For Hubbard, it's an opportunity to give back.
Obviously, I was in their shoes at one point, and I didn't have these opportunities, and I realized, how far they go and the lengths they go. So it's a special moment.
Nice tackle. Yes.
Tackling, passing, teamwork, and fitness drills, all on the curriculum. Other athletes from the NFL, CFL, and Division I coach the youngsters. While football is the focus, Hubbard hopes any lessons learned here lead to broader benefits.
Whether kids after this want to play football or not, I just want to give them the opportunity to have fun, be around other kids, compete, and also be around some great people. So I think if they just get something positive out of it, that's the most important thing.
Seeing my son out there making a difference in our community and our family means the world to me.
The camp is a family affair in more ways than one. Hubbard's mom, Candace, watches from the sidelines as her son gives others the opportunities she had to find for him.
No stress for the parents of, big costs of camps. It's very special. Words can't even describe. Every camp I tear up because it's just amazing to see how happy the parents and the children are and what a difference it makes.
A camp like this in Edmonton for free, a labor of love for the Hubbards.
Seeing how much fun they have and how much they appreciate it, it just humbles you.
Hubbard and his family plan to continue the training camps every year and also hope to expand them to other cities. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The Edmonton International Street Performers Festival is celebrating its largest turnout since the pandemic.
High knees, like a soccer player.
Organizers say more than 100,000 people attended this year's festival. They believe the nice weather was a big factor, and the future of the festival appears to be in a good place. Now that the Street Performers Festival is wrapped up, the square will be getting ready for Taste of Edmonton, which begins Thursday. Still to come tonight on CTV News, leading the charge, a young horseback rider shows the competitors how it's done at Stampede.
Just go for it because it's really worth it, and it gets really fun.
Programming brought to you by Federated Co-ops. Find your summer sweepstakes. Unlock your chances to win at your local co-op.
Marks 25 years since Canada's fourth deadliest tornado. On July 14th, 2000, an F3 tornado hit the Green Acres Resort Campground in Pine Lake. The tornado killed 12 people and injured more than 100. The tornado touched down around 7 p.m. with 300-kilometer-an-hour winds lasting about 30 minutes. It destroyed homes, farms, and 400 campsites, causing an estimated $15 million in damage.
I can't believe that's a quarter of a century ago.
Yeah, it's been a while, eh? Yeah. Josh, no extreme weather in the forecast this week, thankfully. Nothing like that anyway.
Not for us,
Not for us, yeah.
Calgary got a hammer. Toonie-sized hail yesterday, heavy rain. As we showed you, that rain is still falling in parts of southern Alberta. Red Deer's had a good amount of rain as well. Our weather watcher in Red Deer, Betty, sends in an email about 25 millimeters of steady light rain. 19 degrees here in Edmonton right now after hitting 21 for a daytime high. You can see partly cloudy skies on the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. 20 degrees in Cold Lake and Lloydminster. Grand Prairie sitting at 22. Red Deer with the rain, a little cooler. 15 degrees there, 16 in Fort McMurray. I don't know why I'm not showing up on screen, but that's okay. You don't really need to see me. All you really need to see is the shower activity that's still coming down. There, ooh, very Star Trek. Beam me up. Calgary area and off to the south, seeing the heaviest of the rain in the oranges and yellows. These showers off to the west of the Edmonton area, you notice they're dropping from north to south. So they've already passed by the west and southwest end of the city. They will not come into play for us later on this evening. Skies will clear overnight tonight. We'll get some sunshine across much of the province tomorrow morning. A little bit of cloud cover here late in the day across the northwest out ahead of that low pressure system, which will do a couple of things. One, it's going to spread some cloud cover across the Edmonton region for Wednesday. I don't think it's overcast, but a mix of sun and cloud to partly cloudy skies. Good chance of some showers and thunderstorms here through the foothills Wednesday afternoon. And Thursday evening, as that system moves through, you might see a few showers in the Edmonton area. The other thing it might do is it may haul in a little bit of wildfire smoke. We had some smoke come in from Saskatchewan, pass through Cold Lake. There was an air quality advisory there for a while. You can see the worst of the air quality right now has pushed off into southeastern Alberta, and it looks like that's where the worst of the smoke is going to be, and up in northwestern Alberta. There's tomorrow morning. Here's tomorrow afternoon. Still no smoke for the Edmonton area. So sunny skies, light wind, not bad temperatures, about 22 for a daytime high. Watch as the wind swings around to the south-southeast out ahead of that low that's going to be off to the northwest of us. Yeah, through the afternoon hours Wednesday, there may be a little bit of wildfire smoke that starts to increase. So we'll keep an eye on that, update you on that tomorrow, but just an early heads up. 6 degrees in Fort McMurray and Red Deer tomorrow morning, 8 in Grand Prairie and about 9 here in Edmonton. Sunshine, low 20s across the northeast tomorrow, into the mid-20s, high level through the Peace Country. There's that cloud cover tomorrow afternoon, Peace River, Grand Prairie. 19 in Red Deer. I think you're going to see way more sun than cloud, but there will be a little bit of cloud cover in the morning. Sunshine, highs near 20. Coronation, Lloydminster, and about 25 in Jasper. Here in Edmonton, 9 degrees tomorrow morning, so into single digits. A handful of degrees cooler than average, back to 22, and sunny skies with light wind tomorrow afternoon. Mixed sun and cloud, windy for Wednesday, and that chance of some increased wildfire smoke in the afternoon. Winds are going to be gusting to about 30 or 40 kilometers per hour. 22 to 24 range for daytime highs right through to the end of the week, with the chance of some late day showers Thursday and Saturday. And even next week, no heat, just temperatures slightly cooler than average and somewhere in the low 20s for most of the next 10 days.
All right, Josh, thank you. An 11-year-old girl from Sundre led the way during an event at the Calgary Stampede. Sophia Garrington was the forerunner for the Young'uns Cowboy Up Challenge. It's an obstacle course for horseback riding. Garrington and her horse buddy showed off how the course is done before the competitors took off. She's been competing since she was 8 years old. She recently won the Young'uns ECA World Competition in November. Garrington says you should try the sport if you can.
If you get a horse that is able to do obstacles and you're willing to do them, then just go for it, because it's really worth it, and it gets like really, really fun.
Garrington says if you want to get involved, reach out to a local horse riding training program and see what they offer. She has more competitions coming up in August and September, working towards another world title. When we return, Growing Green, a new program providing gardening lessons and fresh food for the community.
And it's good to give out something that's fresh and healthy rather than food that comes in cans and boxes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The Alberta Avenue Community Centre has created a new program aiming to address food insecurity while teaching people new skills. CTV's Merrick DeCash has more.
Jacob Ulicki started working at the Alberta Avenue Community Garden 4 months ago.
The first harvests have been radishes, kale, lettuce, leafy greens. As the season goes on, we'll have root crops. So pretty much everything that is in here is serving a purpose.
Through his new initiative called Growing Together, Ulicki is helping community members grow their own food and develop practical gardening skills.
There's a lot of food insecurity happening across Edmonton more than ever. Budget challenges, farm closures. So Growing Together is utilizing space that we had in order to provide free food for the community.
Anybody is able to participate in the program by filling out a form on the Community League's website.
It makes the garden look fantastic. It's feeding people. People are excited about it. People are learning things. We have events in our garden space here behind me, and people wander the gardens and look, and they're like, oh, I never thought of that. Oh, that's a good technique. I'll have to do that at home. So people are, just by observing the garden, are learning.
As of right now, 35 families have plots on the outer ring of the garden. The middle area is reserved for the Growing Together project. Like last week, Ulicki is making a stop at Bethel Gospel Chapel, delivering the second Growing Together harvest of the year.
We very seldom get fresh produce, and so whenever we do get it, we're excited to be able to hand that out.
Every Monday, around 200 people use the church's food pantry, a number that rises almost every month.
It goes really fast. People really appreciate it, and it's good to give out something that's fresh and healthy rather than food that comes in cans and boxes.
The new program will see fresh produce donated to food pantries, care homes, and churches throughout the summer. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Edmonton.
That's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.